NCAA President Charlie Baker is proposing the creation of a new FBS subdivision, which FBS stands for Football Bowl Subdivision. So this is a new subdivision of the subdivision.
Subsidiary of a subsidiary.
It is the Football Bowl subdivision. He's proposing the creation of the Football Bowl subdivision that would allow the highest resource schools to compensate athletes directly through a trust as well as NIL. Now, in his proposal, the requirement would be $30,000 to at least half of the school's athletes, with the possibility of more. Now, whoa, I can hear everybody jumping 2-3 steps down the road. Let's reel it in a little bit here. This is better than making the fans pay the players. Okay? Up until now, all name, image, and likeness money has come from business owners, aka fans, and or fan collectives, right? It is just coach saying, hey, and this literally happened after the NC State-UNC game when NC State won. The coach saying, hey, we need 5,000 fans to give $1,000 to the collectives. That would be awesome. That's just a fan paying the players.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Which is unique because the fans get enjoyment out of college football and they buy a ticket to get that enjoyment, or they pay a subscription to their streaming and or cable provider to get that enjoyment. The schools get enjoyment from having a good football team. They also have ticket sales, media rights payouts, merchandise sales, and many, many other streams of revenue. So the schools are the ones that should be paying the players, not the fans. So if this takes that step away, we should be for it. If anyone's going to pay the players, it's the people that are making money off the players, not the people that cheer them on and support the players, unless they want to. They still could.
Collectives can still exist.
They could.
Absolutely, and I think they still will.
I think it'll be less important. Because the money that a collective can put together and the money that is an endowment for some of these schools are not the same. Mm-hmm. That's the other thing, okay? I want to talk about the plausibility of this and why the NCAA doesn't even care if it's plausible or not. But first, it would dramatically, if this becomes a thing, NCAA President Charlie Baker is proposing the creation of a new FBS subdivision that would allow the highest resource schools to compensate athletes directly through a trust as well as NIL. It would dramatically shift the power to the rich schools rather than the rich booster groups. Mm-hmm. Stanford, Texas A&M, Duke, Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. These are the schools. These are the types of schools, Michigan, that have wildly large endowments from their school. Mm-hmm. If the school is the one paying, it matters if you have, a bunch of, high boosters that own a bunch of car dealerships and are willing to sprinkle you with $100,000. But it doesn't matter as much as having $20 billion in an endowment printing cash for you every year. It doesn't matter if you can charge recklessly high tuition and have a bunch of students paying it. It doesn't matter if you have a great med school or a great law school that are just printing money, and that is where the power will shift. Stanford, compared to most college football blue bloods, is in another stratosphere when it comes to how much money they deal with, just on a pure university-wide system. If they want to tap into that, the ACC may have expanded to the most powerful team in college football.
Yeah.
Maybe like, oh, we had to take Stanford. Oh, man. Why didn't we go after this other school? Why didn't we go after? Well, you may have just brought a sleeping giant into the hen house. Fox into your hen house. Mm-hmm. Now I want to talk about the plausibility of it. Is it plausible? The NCAA is promoting that a whole bunch of schools give at least $30,000 to half of their athletes on campus. Scholarship athletes, I assume they're talking about. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of money. You have 200 student athletes on campus, 400 student athletes on campus. You have to give $30,000 to at least half. $6 million.
Factoring in this, Title IX does apply to this,
yes.
By the way.
So it's 50% of all athletes.
Yes.
$6 million. If you're one of the larger athletic programs with a whole bunch of teams that you sanction, varsity programs. I mean, you could easily be looking at double-digit millions of dollars a year minimum. That's before you get to like winning the bidding war for the quarterback recruit. That's before you get to winning the bidding war for the top shooting guard. That's before you get to any of that. That's just straight cash. That's a lot of money. That's a ton of money. Is it plausible to ask? I mean, for Texas A&M, probably. Right? For Michigan, probably. But they're going to need some teams to play, right? Is it plausible to ask 35, 40, 50 teams to do that? I don't know. And you know who else doesn't know? The NCAA. And you know who doesn't care? The NCAA. Because now that they've recommended it, they think they can be not the bad guy anymore. They think they can go, we want you to pay the players. Oh, it's not the NCAA holding you back. Now it's them saying no.
But also, it's the key wording of this proposal is in a trust. So players probably can't access that right away, but also paid through NIL. So, for example, if let's say here locally we have Duke, Carolina State, each of those schools wants to throw their basketball team or one of their star players on a billboard, the school can now pay you for that because you're using that player's name, image, and likeness. It's not pay to play. It's pay for NIL. This is a way for the NCAA to skirt around making athletes employees. This is what this is. This is a way for us for schools to say we're compensating them, but they're not actually our employees because we're not actually paying them to play. We're paying them to do autograph signings or promotional stuff.
What you're going to see is they're going to attach. This is how I assume it will go. They're going to attach a dollar amount to things they're being asked to do anyway.
Yes.
So like, hey, we need you for a photo shoot for the program. $10,000?
Yeah.
It's like endorsing the program or being on season tickets, being on the actual tickets, or Jumbotron advertisements, whatever it is, things that athletes are already asked to do.
We can print your name and jersey number on shirts.
Yeah, there you go.
We can pay you more now as a result.
I mean, I remember long autograph signings after spring games, right? You play the spring game, then you walk out to the concourse. You have the entire team sit down on like the picnic tables, and people can get a poster, and they just walk right down and get everyone's autograph. All right, cool. Do that. Everyone gets $30,000. We're paying you to autograph. We're not paying you to play. We're paying you to autograph.
Yeah,
like that's it's all just red tape, like you said, or not red tape. It's a misdirection to make sure it's like we don't have to. Give them insurance. We don't have to offer any kind of workers' compensation or anything along. They're not employees. They're different. If they get hurt signing autographs, we'll be on the hook. But not if they get hurt, taking a blindside shot from a blitzing outside linebacker. That's a different beast. Multiple ways.